So today we got another unboxing video, but this time it's from 1138Replicas. So sit back, hang tight, we'll see what he's got for us next. Welcome back, Kyberheads. Thank you for joining us tonight, and really excited. We got our third package this week of new Kybers. This one here is actually coming from Jordan Holly over at 1138Replicas, and what's exciting about this is the first Kyber that Jordan has released that actually is RFID chipped. So all the other ones that he's put out prior to this have all been display only Kybers. I do have a few of them. I actually have three that I'm going to show you briefly today as well while we're doing this unboxing, enveloping, unpackaging, if you will, Kyber from him. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get this package opened up here and see what we've got. I'm really excited to see what he's got for us, because I've got, like I said, I've got a few of his other Kybers. Kind of show you, I've got his Mon Cala Kyber, which is a really nice display Kyber. That was the most recent display Kyber that he's released. Another one that I have that I picked it up just because it was a limited edition is actually, and I know it's kind of hard to see, you'll be able to see it a little bit better whenever I put it under the Kyber cam, but this is actually his 2020 Halloween limited edition Kyber. And then I actually also have his Darksaber Kyber. Some of these are still available on his site. I will put links to these down in the comments, so you'll be able to go and see if these are still available, where you can grab them at, or at least be able to get to his page to be able to see what's still available. But before we go any further, I want to get this package opened up. I want to look and see what the Kyber looks like. So with that, let me just make sure that we're good here, and I'm going to go ahead and kick you guys over to the Kyber cam. Alright, so first thing that we got in the package is, of course, his business card that comes with all of his Kybers, and that's the card for 1138Replicas. It's a really nice looking card. I know you're getting some glare off of my ring light there, but you know, I try to give you guys the best look I can. If you want, you guys can see here also he's got all of his information on the back, so that way you can get to his Etsy, his Instagram, his Facebook. It's got his email information and everything on there in case you're wanting to get something from him. I do not know if he will do custom requests. I also don't know if he doesn't have some of his Kybers available any longer on his Etsy page, if you can contact him and possibly get those made at any point. I don't know. That would be something that you'd have to check with him on. Jordan, if you happen to be watching this, please leave us a comment if that's a possibility for people, because I would love for them to be able to get some of your other display Kybers if you're still making those. If you're going and moving on to doing just RFID chipped Kybers, great. You know, just give us a comment if you can and let us know that, so that way, you know, you don't get bombarded with people asking for some of your other Kybers, and you know, that's not an option anymore. So with that, let me go ahead and show you first, before we go any further, the other Kybers that we have. So this is the Mon Cala. These are done with alcohol ink inside the resin, so it gives you a little bit different design than some of the other Kybers that you'll see out there. And I'm going to go ahead and use a tongs, so that way you ain't got to see my big ugly hand getting in the way. One of the things with alcohol ink, I will tell you, is it is a lot harder to get a more unified coloration in the Kybers, to be able to see the coloration in all the sides and everything. So that is something that you are going to get if you do get Kybers from anybody, honestly, that does alcohol ink. It makes it very difficult depending on how they're done. So that's the Mon Cala. Let me go ahead and get this one positioned for you here, and I'll show you his Darksaber Kyber. Now these two would be the only ones that may still be available from his Etsy store. I don't know. I haven't scrolled through to look at this point. Looking on his page, it looks like, as far as Kyber crystals go, it does show 2 available. Now, your Darksaber Kyber is going to be listed under the infected Kyber crystals. So that's the location that you would have to go to as far as the 2 offerings he has on his page right now. And I'm looking at his page right here on my other screen for you. That's where you're going to go to get any of the designs similar to your Darksaber. He has different color variations and things like that you can get from that site or from that page. But I really like this one. This was the first Darksaber Kyber that I got from anybody, and honestly, because at the time I had not really watched much of the Clone Wars series. I'd just gotten done watching season 1 of The Mandalorian. I had trouble getting into Clone Wars at first. Now I'm into season, I think, 4 now at this point, and really, starting to get to where I'll be able to see more of what's involved with the Darksaber. So with that, go ahead. Now this one being his Halloween limited edition, this one is also considered part of his infected. However, it was made specifically for Halloween last year, and as far as I know, it's no longer an option of getting. Now, I do believe that you can get that color variation through his infected Kyber crystal option. Colors you can get is clear, which would be kind of like the Darksaber, white, blue, a light blue / sky blue, red, neon red, pink, yellow, neon yellow, orange, which would probably be what you would get your Halloween Kyber design kind of from on there. Then you got your neon orange, green, purple. He has a glow in the dark, and then he has a black. So I'm not sure if it's the clear or the black that's going to be more your Darksaber side. But those are some of the options that he has in there. I'm looking at some of the pictures that he has on it, and of those pictures, the one that does look kind of white, or clear, and I guess it would be the clear option. Yeah, your clear would be your clear and black, I guess, would be the Darksaber version, because he does have a secondary option, which is a second color that you can add in there. So I guess the clear and black would be your Darksaber. But I mean, he has all sorts of different color variations, different color designs that you can grab to customize what you want to get. That particular that particular Kyber design, being the infected, they're $20 each. So being that they're display Kybers, they don't have RFID chips in them, they're going to be for display purposes only. That's actually a really good price for those Kybers themselves. So let me back out of that, because now we want to get into what we were getting, what actually came in the mail today. So we'll go ahead and get back to the full screen, because I want to show you a little bit of what he sent besides just that. Now, we did get card, and it's a little dark, so I'm going to put it underneath the camera here in a minute so you'll be able to see it. This particular one is 3 of 100. This is a limited run of 100 and 100 only. Once those 100 are gone, they're gone. So if you are interested in getting any of this particular Kyber that I'm going to show you here in a second, you need to get on the ball and get them ordered quick. I don't know how many are left, but once they're gone, it even says on here, limited run of 100 crystals. When they're gone, they're gone. So just keep that in mind. I know of at least now 3 that are out there at this point. I'm not sure how many more orders he has, but we'll get to showing you the card here in just a second. But what I like is the Kyber come in this little baggie, and I mean it's a nice touch to the Kyber itself. And down inside is the actual Kyber, and I'll tell you what, it really looks good. I like the way it looks. So let me go ahead and get you set up, so that way you can see exactly what Jordan has come up with for us. I'm trying to get this all positioned on the screen so you'll be able to see it okay. My ring light is really throwing a glare on where the words are at, so it's going to be a little bit hard to see, but I'll read you what that actually says here in just a moment. I just want to get this thing positioned for you so that way you can get a decent look at it before I pull the card out and give you a better look at the Kyber itself. So here we go. This is the Ventress Slayer. So with the Ventress Slayer Kyber, basically the story for this Kyber reads that this crystal once belonged to the legendary Sith Lord Count Dooku. It was reclaimed from his saber after the Battle of Coruscant, where he was defeated by Anakin Skywalker. Dooku's Force lightning has permanently scarred this crystal and infected it with the memory of his former Padawan, Asajj Ventress. So that's what the card says. It's got the beautiful looking lightning on it, and I'll try to show you a little bit better on the others on the screen. It's really hard to see with my lighting and stuff in here, unfortunately. But I mean, the card, the design, it's nice. You can definitely tell that there was some time put into it. Like I said, it is a little bit on the dark side, so it is a little hard to read. But I mean, other than that, it looks great. As far as the Kyber itself, I mean, this Kyber, and getting stuck to my mat here. It's got a good look to it. It's not quite what I see in the picture on the page, but that understanding being that, you know, let's face it, these are all handmade, they're individually made, so they're not going to be exact. They're all custom. So with that being the case, just like any other Kyber out there, they're not going to look exactly like what you see on the site. But it does have a lot of those characteristics with the design. But again, that's part of working with alcohol ink, where you're not able to get, you know, like the way some of the other crafters out there have the painted crack lines on their Kyber. It doesn't take away from it at all, because it gives you that same look without the crack in there. I mean, it makes it to where it looks like it's actually part of the Kyber itself in the way that the Kyber has been formed. Like that line right there, that black line running through there, really makes it look good, throwing a different color variation into the Kyber itself, getting the black into that area. And I mean, that's probably, I would have to say, and this thing keeps sticking. I got fibers, hold on. I got fibers from my mat getting in there for you. But that's probably one of the best looking faces on the Kyber. That would probably be the face that I'm going to display out for people to see, is that one. You've really got a lot of good red and black. That's a really nice looking face right there as well, with the black cracks looks in there. That right there, that side here, that's probably the best side. I really have to say that's probably the best side, because you get a lot of characteristic, a lot of design in the Kyber there. So it's awesome the way that looks. So I'd love to know what you guys think about it as well. You know, go ahead and leave some comments, you know, as to what you think of it, and let me know. You know, let Jordan know. What do you think about this Kyber? I mean, let him know if you're interested in purchasing it. That's a great way of letting him know what you think about it, is if you actually turn around and purchase this Kyber from Jordan. Now, with that, I am assuming, and I don't know, well, I didn't notice on his page if this is, okay, it is a single chipped Kyber, and it should have the voice of Count Dooku, so which would make sense. So let's go ahead and put it in our holocron and see if we get Count Dooku. And it sounds like it read it. Let's see.
I require proof of your abilities as a warrior.
Yeah, so we do get Count Dooku from it, which is what we expected. I'm going to flip it over just for the heck of it and see. Okay. So based on that, it looks like the chip for this Kyber sits towards the bottom. That way that it will register, you know, inside the holocron. So let's go ahead, and I want to throw it in the Savi Saber just to make sure, you know, how it's going to read. And it does read the red from the bottom. Go ahead and flip it over just to test, and it does not read that direction. So the chip is definitely in the bottom side of that, and we know we're going to get a red blade from this Kyber based on that. So my final conclusion on it, honestly, Jordan, I think did a very good job. I don't see any defects as far as any of the faces, the design. Everything looks really good. All the faces have the same characteristics that you would get from one of the Galaxy's Edge Kybers. So, I mean, it's done right. It's done good. I know Jordan, I'm sure, is excited about this. I'm excited about this one. This one's definitely going to go on my display shelf behind me here, sitting right there beside the other 3 Kybers that I have from Jordan. And I know, I'm pretty sure I reviewed these Kybers themselves, the other 3, whenever I did my original video, which was the comparison video for all of the different crafters, when I did all the comparison of those. So let me give you one last look here at all the Kybers that we've been talking about, that we've seen, so that way that you can get one last good look of each one of these Kybers from 1138 Replicas. Great selections. The only one that I saw that at this point is not available on his site would be the Mon Cala, as far as specifically. But I believe if you do the color combination of primarily white with a secondary blue, Yeah, and that is an option. Primarily white, secondary blue. You could probably get it set up to where it would look just like the Mon Cala that you see on screen. Yeah, right there above me. So, again, just want to say thanks to Jordan for a job well done. A great first release for chipped Kybers. I look forward to seeing what else you come up with and what else you bring to the table for all of us. It's exciting to see another crafter to start releasing very well-made, quality Kybers to jump right in there alongside Crafted Core and KRC and I Am Geek and Tinker's Cove. So now, with this option, based on what I've seen of all of them, we're right up there with now four, in my opinion, four really good quality crafters out there that have multiple selections that have been put out there in this design. So thanks again. I appreciate you guys from stopping by and taking the time to listen at me ramble. If you don't mind, go ahead down there below and click that subscribe button. Hit the bell notification so you can see when these videos come out. I'm hoping to continue to put out more and more of them each week so that way I can try to get all of these ones behind my head on the site for you guys and on the channel so that you can see all the different selections that have come available from all these different crafters. So if you're on Facebook, I appreciate it. Give me a like and a follow so that way I know that you guys are enjoying it as well. So thanks again for stopping by. I appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, may the Force be with you.